The Oklahoma City Thunder are your 2025 NBA champions. Let's just talk about this. So, OKC have capped off their dream season. Shai Alexander has won every silverware that he could win in this whole season. He won the NBA MVP, NBA West Finals MVP, and the NBA Finals MVP, and also alongside it, a scoring title, All NBA recognition. And the man has had a historic season, leading the OKC Thunder with 68 wins in the regular season and 16 of 7 in the playoffs. So this has been a historic performance by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I must say, Sam Presti will go down as one of the best GMs in the league. And if we go back and look in history, the trade that the Oklahoma City Thunder pulled off to get Shai Alexander, you would never have thought 6 years later they would have gone ahead and done the unthinkable for OKC. The Oklahoma City Thunder have done something that Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden at one point they tried in 2012 against LeBron James, the Miami Heat, and they couldn't do it. But given that situation, I feel bad for Tyrese Halliburton. So Tyrese Halliburton, he came out swinging, especially with his three-point prowess, but it was so difficult to see him fall down in that fall down like that. And it was reported that it's an Achilles tear, and that's called the kiss of death because when an athlete suffers from that, they are sidelined for about 12 to 18 months so that they can be able to rehab so they can get back to form. So, and who knows, we are not sure if he's going to return the same guy, but I'm hopeful that he's going to come back and do the same thing that he has been doing all season, because he's one of the, if not the main reason as to why the Indiana Pacers were in this position in a game 7. So this is the 20th game 7 in the NBA Finals history, and Tyrese Halliburton, even despite his lingering injuries that he had sustained throughout the whole postseason, the regular season, postseason, he still stayed firm, and he came out and said, as long as he can walk, he can still play. So he came out with that one, and when I saw him fall down like that, it was heart wrenching because he was on pace to even have a 30-point or even 40-point bust, and even take the Oklahoma City Thunder to the edge. Because when you look at the stats, you'll see that the Oklahoma City Thunder did not have a very good scoring performance, especially coming from Shai, because majority of these points came from the free throw line, and a lot of free throw merchant, conversation has been going on, especially throughout the league. And the free throw line is where he was able to stand firm, he was able to get all them points in there. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, they play great team basketball, not too much individual, because majority of the time when the offense is not clicking for the star player, the team reverts to playing some team basketball, playing some defense, and defense is what won championships, because lethal offenses have run the league, especially in the regular season and postseason. But in the postseason, especially when you get deep into the finals where you're playing a 7-game series, defense wins championships. I was not even expecting this game to have like a high scoring barrage. I expected to have like not too much, not a blowout, but somewhat moderate scoring, while some defense played a key along the game. So I felt bad when I saw Tyrese Halliburton go down, because it would have been a duel. And given the fact that OKC, they didn't have a very good offense, and you could see how Tyrese Halliburton, when he came in for those minutes. He played for about 6 minutes in the game before he went down. He had he had that scoring spark, and had he stayed there, and had he not been injured, there will be a different story. Maybe OKC will have won, maybe the Pacers will have won, but I guess we'll never know about that. But anyway, I mean, the Indiana Pacers have shown that they can mix it up with the best of the best of the best in the NBA. And I never had any doubts in the Indiana Pacers because of how they were able to steamroll the whole Eastern Conference, especially that upset on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And looking at how they were able to push this OKC Thunder team, so the OKC Thunder team were the biggest threat. And a lot of the teams in the Western Conference, even during the regular season, did not fear them. But right now, this is that point where a lot of teams, especially in the West, will fear the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Pacers did not show any fear because they pushed this series to 7 games. So I mean, there was a bit of controversy when I was watching this game, especially when it came to the foul calls. And Shea Alexander was being given a lot of foul calls and went to the line a lot. And they came from TJ McConnell not being given, equal treatment, especially when it came to drawing fouls and going to the line. And there were a couple of plays that didn't go the Pacers' way, and they were ruled as turnovers, steals, turnovers on the Pacers side, but steals on the Oklahoma City Thunder side. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people expressed their frustration, especially on X, and it's something that I took some keen interest to seeing. And even when I went back and looked at the film, some of them were right, because at some point when I was looking at the game on replay, I felt like that would have been called for a foul. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we live with the calls that are there, so we can't go back and try to audit the calls because the champion is already crowned, and the dream season for the Oklahoma City Thunder has been complete. So all in all, this has been one of those series that made me feel so excited, and I was looking forward to it every single game, because when the OKC Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers, materialized and they were tipping off in June 6th, you could see that there was a narrative and a perception from the masses that this is going to be a very boring final series. The ratings will be dropped. There's not too much branding for the NBA finals. A lot of teams are not, not even a lot of teams, especially from small markets, are not looked at as the carriers for the NBA finals, because we are used to seeing superstars run it. So this was a different feeling, because you're seeing two small market teams duke it out in the biggest stage, something that has not been seen in a long time, because majority of the time the stars that appear in the finals are familiar. And all the time, NBA players, even the casuals and the casuals especially, tune in to watch those games. But in this one, it hit the diehards a lot, because it showed how rebuilding teams do it the right way, and they're able to go ahead and win big, especially throughout the rebuild process. Because if you look at the OKC Thunder, when they decided to blow it up and they traded away Paul George and Russell Westbrook in the same offseason, in exchange they got CP3 and Shea Alexander, you could see the Oklahoma City Thunder were written off as a wash, especially in that season in 2019. And things just looked things just looked like they went sideways for them. But Sam Presti, being one of the best GMs, he took his time, drafted well, because a lot of times people forget that Sam Presti was the GM when the OKC Thunder drafted back-to-back MVPs in consecutive years. 2007 second round pick, they picked KD. 2008 fourth pick, they picked Russell Westbrook, and in the 2009 draft they picked James Harden. So this is a very well run franchise, and given the slew haul of draft picks that would have made Sam Hinkie, you know, it would have made him, shake his head in appreciation. You could see Sam Presti had a vision, and he put everything together and drafted the best in the draft, and even the players who slipped out in the draft and went undrafted got them. And looking at how this team came to fruition, there was not too much doubt with their performances, because last season they cracked 60 wins, but there was not too much respect being put on the Oklahoma City Thunder like that. But this season, with the 68 win season and them winning the championship and Shea Alexander leading the way, this has been one of the best runs, especially for an individual player and also team success. For the individual, Shea Alexander has gotten all the hardware that makes a player an all-time legend in the league, and also for the team, they got their first championship ring. So, I mean, right now, Shea Alexander will go down as the best Thunder player ever, on top of KD, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. I know Russell Westbrook is considered and respected in the OKC, but that ring is something that he was not able to win. And if you look at even the chances that OKC had even prior to this whole championship, you could see in 2012 they made it to the finals, got beat by LeBron James and Miami Heat in 5. And in 2016, which is the most painful, is when the Oklahoma City Thunder blew a 3-1 lead. They won game 1, game 3, and game 4, and they got beat by the Golden State Warriors in 7. And they blew a 3-1 lead on KD. Was there, and KD left. So it was the worst. And given the fact that this championship was something that we wanted to see KD, Westbrook, and Harden win at the time, and none of them was able to win it for OKC, left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not disappoint. I don't think the whole championship situation will have panned out any better than this, because looking at what this OKC Thunder team have done right now, they are the best team. I know the whole narrative, especially throughout the regular season when I was covering the OKC Thunder, they were the NBA media, especially NBA mainstream media, they came out and said, nobody even respects OKC like that when you're going to play them. But I know their respect is earned, and earned it they did. So, I mean, shout out to OKC. I mean, they did the best. I mean, they've made me love the NBA Finals again. I mean, some point I stopped watching the NBA Finals, especially in 2023 under the Nuggets and Heat. I mean, it was just a snooze fest. I know, no disrespect to Jokic, but man, the Denver Nuggets, it was kind of a yawn. And in last year, similar case, but the Boston Celtics are not that captivating. 2022 was the one that was awesome when the Celtics and the Warriors went at it. But this one gave me a lot of excitement because you could see like there was a lot of suspense. There was a lot of tension, especially as I was waiting for that Game 7. You never knew the outcome because some of the series that we are used to seeing, you just know the outcome. This team is going to win. This team is going to win. But this one, there was so much uncertainty, even given the fact that OKC were the better team and they were coming in the better record in the West. The Pacers were just there as the underdog dark horse team that could be able to go ahead and win it all. And this series playing out all 7 games was the difference maker. So it is what it is. So do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below. Prayers up for Tyrese. Hopefully he's going to be able to get back in 2027 because I'm pretty sure the whole of the 2025-2026 season he'll have sat out so that he can be able to recover that torn Achilles. So prayers up for him, and this has been a very, very good coverage on my end because I've enjoyed every single minute of it, and I don't think I'll trade it anyway for anything. So it is what it is. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get notified because I'm going to be releasing a ton of content of this nature, especially in this free agency period where I'm going to be talking about a lot of things happening in free agency. And yeah, man, I'm out. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Twist the cork out. Ready? Get a little touch. There you go. Let's go. I'll bring it around. Y'all here every day. Go ahead. Y'all got to listen to me answer the same question every media. PK. Here we go. Be greedy. Be greedy. Shit, come on, be greedy. Yeah. I'm gonna go on the circle. Is that O? I ain't seen O. Yeah. Y'all be back. Come here. Come, let's go. Jenny, you too. Touch it up. There you go. You get on now. Here you go. Everybody touch it up. Be greedy. You get to hold it, bro. Go ahead and hold it. Big hit.
Can you just take time right now at the end of the season and talk about how impressive it was to play this season with Shai?
At the end of the day, that's going to go down in history as one of the greatest seasons that's ever been had by a player. It's amazing to be a part of that, to witness somebody going through it and succeeding in so many different ways. But, he really makes it a joy to be around. It's never about him. It's always about us. It's always about winning. And his talent shines through all that. And we saw that all year. He's a hell of a basketball player, but he's an even better person. I'm proud to call him my teammate, proud to call him my friend, and I'm so happy that we were able to put a shiny cap on what he did this year.
I got it right here. Love it. Big smiles. holding apart just a little bit.
Shay, have you exhaled yet?
I literally just did. Yeah, this is insane. You know, it's throughout the season, the series, the playoffs, there's so many ups and downs, emotions. You don't ever know if your dreams really gonna come true. So whatever it did, it's the best feeling in the world. Fellas, the hats look good on y'all.
Shay, obviously, you know, you had the moment with Halliburton after his injury. I mean, what can you just say about, you know, the competitor in that team and him as well? What did you say to him in that moment? And,
Yeah, I just asked him if he was all right, and it seemed like he was in pain. You just hate to see it in sports in general, but in this moment, like, my heart dropped for him. Like, I couldn't imagine playing the biggest game of my life and something like that happening. It's so unfortunate. It's not fair, but competition isn't fair sometimes. But yeah, I just felt so bad for him. And just asked if he was okay. Obviously, he wasn't, but prayers go out to him for sure. Hell of a player. Future's bright. That team's going to be really good for a long time. Yeah, impressive team, impressive player. I wish them the best of luck.
Tim?
Shay, it's a real short list of guys who've won MVP and Finals MVP in the same season. Yeah, the scoring title in there, that list gets even shorter. Now that you guys have crossed the finish line, are you able to wrap your head around that historic company that you've joined?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that I'm part of that group. It's hard to even fathom that I'm that type of basketball player sometimes. As a kid, you dream, and every kid dreams, but you don't ever really know if it's going to come true. And I'm just glad and happy that my dreams have been able to come true, and that's a thank you to everyone that's been in my corner that's helped me get here. I wouldn't be able to done without them. They know exactly who they are. So yeah, it's a win for the family.
Chop, chop. All right, fellas, right here. This camera right here. Good smiles. Awesome.
Well, it's heavy.
Heavier than expected.
Honestly, the other one I think is like actually heavier than this one. I think. So that was cool. It doesn't feel real. Like everything, like the last like minute and a half of the game didn't feel like I was there anymore. It kind of just felt like I left my body a little bit and like just watched myself like get it and do that whole thing. It still doesn't feel real. And I'm just kind of like starting to try and like think back to the beginning of the season, and it just feels like a complete blur up until this point. But I mean, just looking at it right now is like, it's very like weird. It's a little like humbling, I think. Just have a lot of emotions with it. It does not feel real at all.
Yeah, no, I'm still pretty in tune with the music. They make TikToks, and I've abstained from that. I might get roped into one of those in the coming days just because of happenstance. But this group has like a, you know, I talked about it up on the stage after the game. They have a joy about them. They have a unique maturity that comes with, you know, a lack of experience that's rare. And I think just being able to show up and everybody accepts everybody for who they are and able to be themselves and really impact the game and impact the team with who they are naturally, it goes a long way. And I think it really helped us through the year and then obviously through the playoffs.
I probably need some more time to think about that, but no, it's crazy. I mean, looking back to my first year, you know, I went undrafted. You know, 6 years ago now, June 19 was the draft, and then, you know, that week was probably the worst week of my life. And you look now, June 22nd, 2025. You know, I'm a champion now, so like, it's crazy when, you know, how I circle back, and then, you know, I had to trust the process and how this organization gave me a great opportunity, and then, you know, I'm grateful and I'm happy to be here.
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. Just letting y'all know now. Bam, bam, bam. I got you. Just boom, boom, boom. Everybody can get out, get their flick.
You need him down.
Just everybody's supposed to be perfect.
All right, guys, that's a wrap to your 2025 NBA season. It was fun. I appreciate it. See you guys next year, right?
Dundo!
It was a tough feeling to see your franchise guy go down like that. But to have to move on and kind of compartmentalize it is tough. I thought we were fine. We I don't even remember the score going into halftime, but we were up 1. So, I thought we did a good job of kind of compartmentalizing it. Obviously, we missed him, but we all are devastated for him, and obviously support him.
Yeah, it's just thank you so much, to the fans. We like some of those games, man. Like I have flashbacks, just how amazing the crowd was, and we couldn't do it without them. And every time we were out there, and the game felt like it was getting away. We kept just battling because we wanted to make Indiana proud. We wanted to make our fans proud, and we tried our best. But at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some, and we just got to be strong and keep going. And I told everyone, like, I love every single one of these guys, and I wouldn't do it with anybody else. And I'm just I'm super proud. I'm so proud of the team, and it's hard to look forward in the future, after you lose like this. But yeah, I'm super proud of my team, and again, I wouldn't go to battle with anybody else.